What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Season 4, episode 1, officially here. They thought we'd never be back. They thought they were going to cancel us and we weren't going to be allowed to speak ever again, especially me because, we're, what is this, 30 seconds into season 4, and I'm feeling an F-bomb already because we have two Milwaukee Brewers here today. And, it's been a little quiet on this side of town lately, man. I haven't been able to say much since Game 5, but it was a very quick NLCS. I will say that. So I was having myself a time. But the only way I can get back into baseball, the only way I can talk anything Milwaukee Brewers is if we have some of the top names, some of the best, most genuine guys in the entire building. But before we introduce them, we have to talk to my guy. We have to talk to my old man. I got to see how my old man's doing. Jimothy Cross, how are you feeling, baby?
Bro, I'm older than ever. 41 going on 60, bro. I'm telling you.
Disgusting.
Lacking on the weight room, man. Probably eating too much.
Okay. But you know what, Jim? You know what? Do you know what? Jesus won, baby, so it's okay. That's all I know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But we're here with Blake Burke, first baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers, and of course, Brock Wilken, the man that's handing out gloves to fans, like kissing babies, having babies. I mean, he's doing everything you could possibly imagine. Incredible third baseman in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. Fellas, how we feeling?
What up, dude? What up? Feeling great. How you doing?
Doing great. I mean, what I'm doing great, man. We're in the World Series. Had to pull out the hat. Had to respect y'all. I wore my Anthony Rizzo "Respect Me" T-shirt, but it's under the screen, so I didn't disrespect y'all too crazy.
Is that a youth large you're wearing?
It's about it's a medium. You feel me? I'm a little heavier this go around. I think our last pod we did, I was like 165. Had a little hernia surgery. Now I'm about 180. We're gonna say so. The shirts are a little tight nowadays, Jim, but I didn't think anybody was going to call me out on it. Didn't expect it to be you. But fellas, man, what are we getting into tonight, man? We got a lot to talk about, got a lot to break down. The first thing I really want to break down, and I think there's a lot of different ways we can go with it. I'm kind of looking at everything we're talking about, but honestly, I think we can't have a conversation without bringing up Jim. I think it all has to circle around Jim and his decisions. These are our therapy sessions, if you will. You know what I mean? Jim and I come on here. We don't just talk to you guys to tell your stories. We really talk to just like throw our problems at you guys and see if you guys can help us fix it. So Jim's biggest problem, Jim's biggest gripe was being a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Fellas, he decided to rock and roll with the Colorado Rockies to kick off the 2025 season. So I want to check in on Jim, our first conversation. Jim, how are you doing, brother? Are you okay?
Oh, man. They weren't giving my boy Dolander no run support. Seth Halverson got hurt. Like, I don't know, man. I just know complaining about the Cardinals and then going to the worst team in the MLB is a tough stretch. I'm just telling you, this season, I'm going to have to jump ship. I'll tell the boys I apologize, but I'm gonna, could be Milwaukee. I'm to look at the guest list, see who's on what team, but I can't do last place again, Mike.
Could you do Milwaukee though? Like, all respect to the boys right here, but like to go from Cardinals to Milwaukee, I didn't say nothing to you when you picked Colorado, but like Milwaukee, brother, you gonna go to a division rival?
It's tough with a division one, but man, when you add these two and Andrew Fisher, that's a stout crew right there.
Sure, you got Andrew Vaughn in that mug, just smacking dimes. I mean,
like,
it's
y'all got enough guys that hit bombs, like
yeah.
Like I'm trying to figure out y'all all play the corners, man. I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I need y'all all to the show, but I'm trying to figure out how that works. So we'll get into all that.
Well, we definitely will. The Brewers as a whole, I mean, what a great season. You know what I mean? And as a diehard Cub fan that I am, I'd be sitting here and I'd be lying today if I didn't say what a beautiful constructed baseball team. I mean, they were able to do it every which way the entire year. We were making jokes off stage. I was talking about the Miz. We went from the Miz to the Piss pretty quick, but I think that kid is electric. You have so many guys like Jackson Churio, William Contreras, and so many others that were just so amazing throughout this year. They finished the year 97-65, 52-29 at home, by the way, 45-36 away. I mean, they were just incredible the entire way through, all up until the end, until they see the juggernaut. And we'll be talking about a baseball lockout at some point this season of Pros and Joes, because we can, damn it. You see all these other shows, they ain't gonna talk about it because they're scared. We'll talk about it, damn it. Get the fucking salary cap. It's fucked up over here. Going into that, Brock, I want to start with you. the 2025 season, not only for yourself, but for the organization. How exciting was that to just see the boys in the NLCS, to really just see playoff baseball with Pat Murphy rather than Craig Counsell at the helm?
Yeah, it was pretty sick to see, especially how they started the year was not great. I remember watching the first couple of games in Biloxi, and by like game 6 or 7, everyone's like, all right, let's turn on a different game, because like we just didn't want to watch it. And then about halfway through the year, it's like that was all that was on TV, because it was a must-watch game, especially when Miz got called up, and he was just throwing jet fuel every single pitch and ripping 90-mile-an-hour curveballs. It was pretty insane. So it was a good year for them. Personally, it was a super fun year, getting to play with a bunch of different guys, and just being back ready to go for 26.
Sure. And every show we have you on, I always ask you, who are you excited to learn from? What do you think was the most memorable thing you learned from anybody in the organization this season, and how did it help impact 2025 for you?
Calling strategy.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
I said some colonist strategy.
Yeah. Man, I think it was just like I got injured halfway through the year, right at the All-Star break, or right before the All-Star break, and I was just rehabbing with one of the big league guys. He's like, man, you just gotta keep chugging along, whether that's here, whether that's in season. Like the baseball is just a super long game and super long season. So for me to just kind of rehab that injury back to get back to playing, I think was huge for me personally. That was like the biggest piece I took this year.
For sure.
Mike, I'll tell you, that whole situation, look, I see on Twitter, for all that I hate Twitter, I really hated it for this, Mike. Somebody breaks the news that the Brock's getting called up to AAA, so I'm quick to share it. And then I shared it on Facebook, and then his mom messaged me and said it's not true. In fact, not only is it not true, he's hurt, and he might be out for a while. And so, man, I was sad. Like the day he got hurt, it went from the highest to high, might drop.
No. And I hear that, because I want to get Brock's opinion on that as well. But I remember 2021, I was still working grounds crew at Wrigley Field. And I know you guys are still familiar with Brennan Davis. He's with the Yankees organization now. We had just traded the core. So I'm talking Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, everybody and their mama out of there. It's just me next day sweeping peanuts. Not a single soul. You could hear a pin drop. I was like, damn. But so I get this text by my boy. He's like, yo, Brennan Davis is getting called up, the top Cubs outfielding prospect. I was like, that's my dog. That's my boy. I was so happy. I was like, I can't wait to see him. I need to hug him, because like I'm just so happy for this guy. Ethan Roberts just got called up a few days prior. It was a beautiful thing. And then I find out. I text Brendan. I go, where you at? He tells me he's some random ass state. I'm like, what the? Where's Brendan? They call up Gregory Dykman. And I was like, okay, so they called the wrong Cubs prospect. Not hating on Gregory Dykman whatsoever, but I was very, very hurt on that day. So I definitely get that. Blake, 2025 season as a whole, man, what's your biggest takeaway from yourself personally, and then just from what you saw throughout the organization?
I mean, for this first year, I was just really trying to get my, my, what's it called? Like before the game, getting ready for the game, just trying to get all my stuff done. Yeah, all my warm-ups, figuring out what to do before the game. Trying to figure out how many swings to take. I mean, all that stuff. Just trying to figure out what it takes to get through a season.
Okay. I dig it, man. Now, this one's my favorite topic, and I didn't put it in there. I need to make that clear that I
already got to own the Rockies thing. I might as well own this.
Sure. We go 0 for 2. That's fine. You know what the best part is about going 0 for 2 though? The opportunity to go 1 for 3. That's the next oone's gonna be a hit, Jim. I believe in you.
You know what, Mike, is as much as I'm 0 for 2. What these boys can tell you, because you don't do college baseball.
Sure.
I'm 5-0 and picking national champions before the season starts.
And that's all that matters, baby. But let me tell you, Jim told me a year ago, when we had this GOAT debate, we had everybody on the show. Brock, I don't remember if we asked you. I think it was
did ask him.
We might have asked him, but it might have been right after too, because I know we interviewed Brock pretty early in the year. But we said, who's the all-time GOAT? I said it was Shohei Ohtani. He said it was Mike Trout. I understand that boy Mike. Hey, there's a reason I'm named Mike. You know what I mean? My name used to be Robert. Then they changed it in like 2010. My dad was like, yo, change this motherfucker's name to Mike because we want winners around here. So I was like, cool. But Shohei Ohtani, We talking about 6 innings pitched in a playoff game. We're talking about 10 Ks, 3 home runs. Was that the single-handedly greatest performance there ever was in the game of baseball? Brock,
By far. By far.
Is-
By far. I like that's just you single-handedly win the game. Like you single-handedly did it yourself. 6 innings, bro. Like is insane. He allowed what 2-3 hits and then 10 punch outs, no runs, and then hit 3 homers. Like if the game went on after that, he would have single-handedly won the game and no one else needed to do anything. So
Mike, what it does to me though, man, perspective.
Sure.
Like I remember the fall games covering Skeens when he first got to LSU before they decided he was going to pitch only. And I remember the one Saturday that he pitched, they were only having him pitch 3 innings, but he had 3 innings, 8 Ks, and he had 2 home runs that day. And I'm still mad to this day they didn't let him loose to see if he could do what Ohtani's doing.
No, for sure. I think also like even just looking at the DH nowadays, if Paul Skeens would have been able to, be at the 9th hole for the Pittsburgh Pirates, I mean, you're looking at least 10 home runs a year.
But I'll tell you, Mike, he has surpassed Trout by a long shot now. You got nothing from me, man. No argument here.
Thank you, sir. Blake, what about you, man? Single-handed performances, not only just in baseball, but in sports. Was that one of the greatest you've seen?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's insane. I was watching that and I couldn't believe it. When he hit the 3rd one, it was stupid. I was at a game where Jamal Charles broke the fantasy record,
Really?
fantasy score record or something like that. It felt like every time he got the ball, he scored a touchdown. That was another cool performance. But yeah, I mean,
I once saw Tennessee at the College World Series. I saw his teammate Simo hit the cycle in the College World Series.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool too. But
I think the other greatest performance that we ever saw on a baseball field was this year. Also was
really
Kurtzy going 6 for 6 with 4 these. That's
you're really,
perfect.
Man, he's what 3 feet from 5 home runs.
Yeah, insane, dog. Insane.
Started him in fantasy that night too. Gave me a 30 ball.
Hey, Mike. One of the greatest things we'll never know. He was coming for Brock's home run record, but he got hurt. Would he have got there? Because that is the ACC home run king right there.
It is. But fellas, last one that I'm gonna throw it over to Jim. World Series, man. Toronto being there. I kind of want to just talk about the important factors of this. Obviously, we can talk about what this means for LA or what this doesn't mean for LA because of how many opportunities they're going to have in future years or what it means for Toronto. But I want to take it to the kid, man, Vladdy, man, to see him grow up before Toronto's eyes. And even, say that picture going around on ESPN today of him as a baby, just standing there during the starting lineup, wearing a Blue Jays uniform. I think it's beautiful. I think for me, it's super cool to see kids of the game become masters of the game. You go from the student to the master very quickly. So this kind of moment for a player like that, like how cool is that for the game of baseball when we really talk about growing the game? And either of you can take that one.
I mean, I think it's pretty sick. Not only what he's doing, but a lot of other guys. Bo Bichette, you add in there too. It's super cool to just see how that lineage kind of lines up for a lot of guys. We play against a lot of guys too that are kind of the same way. Just they have some sort of lineage, and you can kind of see how that kind of takes over in the pro ball aspect, where not a lot of us got to be able to experience that aspect of pro baseball every day. They kind of grew up in it, and you kind of see how those guys succeed a little bit easier and a little bit quicker than some of the other guys.
For sure. I dig it.
Blake, what you think, man?
I mean, he's spot on. I mean, it's pretty cool with like social media now too. Like you can follow through with everybody's careers and all that. Like Jackson Holiday when he was getting drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, like being able to follow him and all that, see videos of him and travel ball and his brother. What's his brother's name? Ethan. Yeah. Seeing he's a beast, obviously.
Mike, I still watch that video from draft day of the Nationals fan after they didn't take Ethan Holiday or Trey Anderson. That cat lost his mind. You literally had 2 options of can't miss and didn't take either of them.
No, and you know what, Jim? Like you had a bad year, brother, but I'll make 2 points just to like give you your saving grace. You're still not as bad as the 2024 Chicago White Sox, so we'll give them that. And one might say they just needed Tim Elko to play better baseball. That's what I would say. And then 2, you're not a Washington Nationals fan, because to purposely go, hey man, look, we could take the number 1, maybe even the number 2 overall pick, but we want to save some money. We're gonna take the 10th overall pick at number 1. You're like, what the fuck? How does in the game of baseball, don't even know how it makes sense to save money in that aspect. I feel like everyone who's number 1 should just be number 1. But last one before I throw it to Blake, or before I throw it to Jim. Blake, where the fuck are you, baby? Because I just watched the sun go down. It was a beautiful sight, but now it's dark.
I'm in Arizona right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice outside. It's probably around 70 degrees. Sun went down. Chilling.
About 40 degrees, piss and rain in Chicago right now, so I'm very jealous.
Yeah.
All right, so Blake, I got to ask you, man, something I didn't plan on asking. Got to get your thoughts. I never thought on a Saturday during college football season that an absolute bomb could be dropped from the college baseball world. I mean, I didn't see anything football coming across the thread, and Tennessee was playing Alabama in football, and all you saw was the Tony Vitello news. Well, it's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't want to know if you got any intel. That's not what I'm asking. I'm just going to ask your thought. Tony V as a manager of the Giants as a possibility. You know the guy as well as anybody. Do you think he can get at that level?
I mean, I think he'll be successful with whatever he does. I mean, he's a really good leader. Obviously, he's a good person. So I mean, I don't know how it would translate, but he's pretty successful whenever he does. So like, I wish I had intel to tell you guys, but
I'm not even looking at intel. The part that I want you to share with the world is something that you definitely have the most knowledge of. So Elander would be in the driver's seat if that was the case. And look, we've interviewed every one of you guys that have came on from Tennessee, and y'all have preached how awesome he is. Just how good a coach do you think he would make?
I think he'd be great. He's also one of the best recruiters in the country. So I mean, he'll still be getting people there, and then I mean, with the stadium and all that, like, I think it would all work out. But I mean, if I was to be honest, I really don't think Vitello is going to leave. But I mean, I obviously don't know anything. But
the reports are wild. I stopped reading them. It's back and forth, back and forth. People asking me if I've asked him. I was like, no, I didn't ask. I'm not fixing to text that man and ask him. First of all, he ain't gonna answer. But second, I'm not bothering that dude. And they were doing their exhibition today, business as usual, as you expect from Tony V. So who knows? But Brock, swinging over to you to college ties. Got to ask, man. We obviously brought up Nick Kurtz. Rhett Lauder, these dudes, man, you played with, just shows how stacked that Wake Forest team was. But, man, how proud are you to see your boys, doing what they're doing in the MLB, obviously, specifically Nick. We talked about the potential. We knew the potential was there, but to do what he actually did.
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. One, those are some of my best friends in the entire world. I text all of them all the time. Lauder was hurt out in Arizona while I was hurt. We were rehabbing together. So that was cool. I went over to his house probably 4 or 5 times in the 10 weeks that I was there. So it was a super cool time. It was like we didn't skip a beat, it was just kind of picking up right where we left off. And we talked about Kurtz, we watched Burns. Just seeing those guys succeed is really cool. Especially to be from the start with those guys to where they are now, to kind of see their progression and their maturation process is so dope.
Yeah, Mike, when we first started, we kind of went with that whole friends or foes thing. And one of my favorite moments was Brock against Rhett Lauder. Oh, man, you thought the one with the other day with Gilbert against Dolander. I mean, it was like Brock knew what he was through and jumped all over it. I know what I'm talking about, Brock. It ain't worth you gonna forget about it.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It almost happened again with his boy Camden, and his mom told me she was glad it didn't because they were super tight, and she didn't want that one to have to happen.
Yeah, no, I'm 0 for 0, 2 walks off him. So
yeah. Now, Jim, I got one for you, bro. I wanted to keep this one off the list because I wanted the most genuine Jim Cross reaction ever. You see a guy like Drew Gilbert on the San Francisco Giants. You saw how electric he was all season. You saw the viral videos of him like shaking people's faces and jumping up and down and just as electric as he was. To add Tony V to that, you know how electrifying Tennessee was for college baseball. You know how fun they were from, everything they did with the celebrations and just having the best time possible. A lot of people critique going straight from college to the pros for a manager. How positive do you think having a Tennessee Volunteers mentality in Major League Baseball is going to be to help grow the game even more?
Well, I mean, it's a positive because Blake knows this. He's a player's coach, period. His thing is he doesn't try to get the guys to do that. It's not like he's coaching that, but he lets guys be who they are. And so a guy like Gilbert, he let Gilbert be who he is. And you see it's a positive. For all the negatives you can pull from it, you see what it did with Tennessee. You see what it did with San Francisco. So I like that Tony doesn't try to change these guys from who they are. Using a guy like Simo, right? Simo will, on this show, sat there and talk about had a rough time growing up. He has that edge, that chip on his shoulder. So with that, Tony lets him play with that. Drew's a psychopath between the lines. Why? I don't know, because he's the nicest guy off of it, but he just lets these guys be who they are. The only time it really crossed the line was the Jordan Beck thing, right? And it is what it is. Dude's hitting 4 home runs in a game himself in the pros. He's done just like Kurt. So maybe he can throw a middle finger here and there, Mike, if you're hitting bombs like that.
For sure.
But, I talked about it before the show, guys. I'll start with you, Blake, because I've been going to Brock first. But talking about that 2023 College World Series, when you look at the fact that Tennessee, Wake Forest, and LSU were all on the same side, like, to me, easily the 3 best teams. And then you look at the guys, obviously we talked about it, U2, Skeens, Cruz, Simo, Kurtz, Louder, Burns, like the list goes on. Like, just how crazy was it that there was that much talent in Omaha on that side of the bracket that year?
I mean, we knew going there when we ran into Skeens first game it was gonna be a tough time. I mean, and then obviously Wake Forest, I think we scrimmaged them that year in the fall or something, and so we knew how good they were. I already played LSU that year, and they also had Stanford in there too, who wasn't bad either. So I mean, we were going there knowing we were going to run into some dudes, and we did. We ran into Skeens, and he got to us, and couldn't beat him again because Achenhauser, what's his name?
Yeah,
Achenhauser. He destroys us
that was
every
his
time he plays
coming
against
out
us.
party.
He was our kryptonite.
Which he's all the way in AAA now. Like, from that game on, he caught momentum.
Yeah.
Brock, I think back to when Massey came on here and talked about the hardest thing he ever had in his entire time at Wake Forest was having to follow up those two coming out of the bullpen in Omaha. You literally just watch Louder and Skeens shove, not allow anything basically, and hey, here you go, take the bump. Like,
yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, it was almost like they did that on purpose so they didn't have the Clash of the Giants in the championship. You know what I mean? Like, they put all 3 of us on one side to, like, not have that Clash of the Giants in the national championship game, which I think would have been a much better outcome if you put one of those other teams on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, just throw us on the other side. Y'all can battle it out.
Well, and I've been on air a million times over saying 2 things, and it pisses my LSU friends off, but I don't know if Nick Kurtz is healthy if we necessarily beat Wake Forest. That's a big piece missing. And then I also say that, that was that Wake Forest team, them in 2022, Tennessee are probably the best teams to never win it. And, people get upset because if you don't win it, apparently you're not as good a team as, that you want to say they are. And so I really think those teams, and then you obviously see what Tennessee did the next year, winning the championship with a lot of those pieces carrying over. So I really think those 3 teams were just absolutely stacked. And man, I felt blessed just to watch all that year. And I can't believe that LSU came out on top, but let's talk about it, Blake. Let's get to the minor league stuff, dude. You got Farm Player of the Year, batted 292, 16 home runs, 27 doubles, 82 RBIs, 56 walks. Like, the list just goes on. Man, how do you feel about your first season? I mean, you got to be feeling good after not only getting that award, but just those stats I read off.
I mean, for the first half of the year, I wasn't having the best year. So, I mean, I was just really, stressing myself out, being hard on myself about, trying to do better, trying to hit more homers and all that stuff. And then at some point it was just like, I mean, I kind of just went out there and started playing. And then I got called up to AA and had a series in Knoxville. And I don't know why, but I started banging when I was there. I had like five balls over 110 in a week. And then after that, something clicked and I just started playing again and having fun.
I'm so glad you did that, Blake, because after spending so many weekends in Knoxville, I've made so many friends there that are big time Tennessee fans, and they were all telling me they were going to watch you in Knoxville. So the fact that you did that, and there were so many Tennessee fans there, made that special. So that's pretty cool that it went that way. And then obviously awesome that you got that award. Brock, you were on fire before you got hurt. That's why I thought you really were getting called up to AAA. How were you able to regain yourself and find the success you were having prior to being hurt?
It's tough because, like you said, that the first half I had was really good personally, and it was just like free and easy, everything. Like I didn't have to worry about anything. Like it was just go out there, try to hit, and try to get your best swing off. Because Blake will attest to this. Like the arms in that league are just insane, like absolutely ridiculous. So hitting in that league is already hard enough. So you just try to go out there and just try to get a few knocks, a couple a week, man. Like that was just.
And I feel like you had 15 to start that season.
I had 18 before the All-Star break.
So 18 before the break, Mike. He was red hot. So I think you're good from the injury. You're back. You're healthy.
Yeah, ish. I got to get a little scope on my knee, kind of get it cleaned out, and then be out in Arizona for a couple months rehabbing. But I'll be ready to go by January.
Go ahead, Mike.
For sure. I love to hear it, brother. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think we're always praying for you, bro. And I think it's going to be really cool to see, where everything takes you guys, man. But I think it all starts in the off season, right? And that's where we're getting at with these next few questions. We're kind of breaking it down. Brock, what is the off season? Obviously, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but I'll switch it up. Not what does it look like, but what is your goal going into spring training? Because I think when we first get into the league, it's kind of just learning everybody, figuring out who you're going to talk to, figuring out your routine every single day. Blake kind of mentioned that earlier, kind of figuring out what works for you. Now that you guys kind of do have, okay, this is where I am, this is where I'm likely going to be. What do you want to improve on the most this offseason?
Yeah, I think, last offseason I did some eye therapy. In 2024, I had that other freak accident where I took that heater to the face.
Yeah.
And I actually did eye therapy, like eye rehab, and my eyes were just so toast, like not even close. Like I was in the 50th percentile of depth perception for the average American my age, and like professional baseball players just aren't in that aspect or area of life because we were really good at our job. And a couple other things that were really bad. So I spent a good amount of money, rehab that, and made one adjustment in spring training. And then it was like, just take off from there. Like at the beginning of the year, I think I was hitting like 185, but my OPS was like a 980. Cause like I had so many balls that were just hit over 100 or over 105 that were just all outs. And my OPS was just super high, but the average was super low. So it was one of those things but I think that eye therapy kind of really helped me get back to where I was in college. And so kind of just doing that again. And then off the field, it's just being a husband and being a dad for the first full off season. So it's kind of fun watching my little guy grow up right in front of me. So it's pretty cool to have him run around the house, and he's got his bats and balls and golf clubs. I send Blake videos literally every day of him, and he's the man. So
cool. We're gonna turn to Blake, but you kind of just had a perfect transition there too. Are we're gonna be starting T-ball anytime soon? You think this off season's the off season we pick up one of the little toy bats? What do you think?
Yeah, he just turned one in August, so he's got his bats, he's got his golf clubs. His favorite word is bat or ball. It's hilarious. So
is he gonna have a pretty lefty swing like Blake? That's the question.
He does pick up the bat left-handed, and he picks up the baseball right-handed. So that's just the recipe.
That's perfect right there. Yeah.
That's what you want. That's what you want. Blake, how about you, brother? What's the off season look like for you? What's the ideal off season?
I mean, in Arizona right now at this camp, whatever. But after this, going to Knoxville. Whenever I go there, I practice kind of like I do. I'll take like grounders with the team or something, and then I'll lift in the morning before that. And hopefully hopefully we both get that invite to big league camp. And I mean, obviously the goal there is going to be make the team. You know, shoot for the stars, obviously. But if it doesn't happen, keep working, and hopefully we'll be up there soon.
For sure, for sure. Now, when you talk about Knoxville, is there any chance you're going to be working with Andrew Fisher? Are those conversations you're still having? What's that look like once you get down there?
I was talking to him. He said he's going to be bouncing back and forth between there and home. I'm rooming with Dylan Dreiling, so he'll be up there. Normally, there's a good group up there. I mean, Hunter Ensley's there right now. Jared Dickey's there right now. Cal Stark, Cortland Lawson. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that go up there, so it's pretty cool to see everybody.
For sure.
Man, I think about it. You know, when you asked me why you should be a Tennessee fan like 4 years ago, and I told you they hit home runs. You know, when Blake left, I didn't think like there was going to be a first baseman that could come in and hit home runs again like that. Anyway, them two, like, it would have been crazy if they were on the same team, but they didn't skip a beat bringing in Fish and just continuing to drop bombs out of Knoxville.
Yeah. Maybe that's the plan, man. Tony V's got to wait some years until these boys' rookie deals are up. But what if he just brought all the boys back for just
that's what he should do.
As a major league volunteers team? I think it would be the craziest thing.
They'd be nasty.
They'd be nasty, man. But also, man, it's just like I can't even see the trees anymore. Blake, this is crazy, man. It's looking scary out there.
Sorry.
No, you're great. You're perfect. It's spooky season, man. You gotta look around. There's a dude with a hockey mask out there somewhere.
You don't gotta say all that though.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't have to manifest that into the world. But Jay, what do you think, Jim? Jay, we'll do one spooky question, and then I got one more for Brock before we wrap up. Professional baseball player with a baseball bat, or Jason Voorhees with a machete, toe to toe. Who's getting the better swing off, man?
The bat, bro.
The bat. It's got to be the bat. I mean, they were talking about 110 off the bat for some of these guys, man. I mean,
that's a one-hitter quitter, though. If they catch them in the dome, it's over.
Oh, Blake's taking them to the moon, baby. He's gonna be seeing his mama. It's gonna be crazy. But Brock, man, you went a little viral earlier this year, man. You're handing out gloves. You're doing whatever you got to do to get some cards, baby. Can you kind of take me through that story first and foremost? And then, are you still ripping packs?
So that story was I just scrolling through eBay, so my buddy's cards started coming out. I started collecting. When my cards started to come out, I was like, man, that's really cool. So I want to collect some of my teammates. This dude had a Burns and a Kurtz card, and hit him up, and I was like, hey, dude, like, I play for the Milwaukee Brewers. Like, here's my Instagram account name. Like, if you don't believe me, here it is. And he's like, no way. Like, here's my Instagram account name. So I liked one of his pictures, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, no way, this is so cool. Like, can you just sign a pair of batting gloves and a couple cards I send, and I'll give you these cards. I was like, yeah, sure, man. He's like, can you just take a picture with them? Like, make sure that I know they're coming for you. And as most of you saw, I was shirtless in that pic because it was like 11 o'clock at night, and in my garage. I didn't expect him to post that video or post that picture to Instagram and Twitter all over the place. But it was a funny thing. Trying to get more guys into it, Blake's into it a little bit. So it was fun ripping some of those packs in Biloxi, and still rip hella packs at my house. My wife yells at me all the time. But
hell yeah, man, that's awesome. No, I just saw the Christmas mega boxes out, Jim. You remember we ran those last year?
Mike, I put it right here. Brock was the first one I bought on eBay. That's fast.
Really graded too. Is that a 10? Is that a 10 or is that a 9.5? I
only kept the 10s. The rest
just gotta ask.
As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I sold Blake's. His is not in this stack because his was a 9, and that pissed me off.
Yeah, you gotta get a 10.
Terrible.
Hey, but you know what I do have? I kept it over here just for this. You know what I do have, Mike?
Yeah, that thing is sick.
Bam.
Woo, look at that man.
That thing is sick.
Tell me Jason Voorhees saw that man. He would have run the other way.
Brock signed his. Blake slacking.
That's tough.
I'll sign it.
Super tough. Jim, you got anything else before we let these boys go?
No, man, I'm stoked. The Brewers are in the running for the new team. I'm just telling you, man. Central or not.
I'm not saying V's going to, but if he does go, you could think about the Giants too.
You could.
Not a
Jim.
bad team to follow.
I would not say anything, Jim, if you picked the Giants. I'm not gonna lie to you. You remember once upon a time it was every other year they'd win the World Series.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It's based upon how many guests are on the team and then quality guests. I can't think of anybody other than Gilbert and Dakota Jordan that are with the Giants. That's only 2 guys, man. That's not a lot.
Randy, I felt like said there was a lot
Tidwell.
more. Yeah, yeah,
That's right. He was in the trade. That's right.
And Keelan.
yeah.
Look, he knows my guests better than him. Look, funny story, Blake. I don't know if I remember telling you this, but Blade Tidwell was on pace to being the worst interview I ever did until Seth Halverson saved him, because the question was asked by Randy, because they both played high school basketball, who would win in basketball, and Seth was quick to say I would, and then Blade, who hasn't said anything all episode, was like, man, I would dunk all over your ass, and was so offended, and like all of a sudden came out of his shell. So shout out Seth for upsetting that man, because prior to that, I couldn't get the dude to even give a one-word answer. It was a struggle.
For sure.
Yeah, I believe that.
For
He's
sure.
an interesting dude.
Fellas, we appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you give them a follow on IG and all social media platforms if you haven't already, because these guys are going to be taking over the league sometime very soon. Even if it's in Milwaukee, I will always root for these boys, even though that, break out the barrel. Fuck it. Mike Hughes will break out the barrel. We'll do it. I went to a Brewers game. It was great. It was April. They had the dome. Sat there in the dome. I said, I could feel my feet. I could feel my toes in my hands right now. This ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. I'll tell you what. It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful place to be. Milwaukee fans gave me a lot of shit for that, but got to see Bobby Witt Jr. do his thing too. But before we get out of here, I do want to give love to my brother Jim, man, because I know, we've had a lot of conversations about how many seasons of Pros and Joes we're going to do, how in off the bench and everything else is going in life right now. And I just want to say that Jim Cross goes tick for tack with any podcast you're ever going to watch, whether I'm on it or not. He's doing his thing, man. We're just proud of you, brother. I think you're doing amazing.
You trying to get me not to quit?
Not trying to get. I'm not persuading you anyway, man. You do what you got to do.
Saying,
just know.
Jesus One is taking off. It's got a lot of my attention.
Just know I'll always be in this chair waiting for you whenever you want to do a show. That's all I'm saying.
I'll tell you what, you stop saying F-bombs, I'll stay.
I'll tell you what. You want me to throw one? Well, nah, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that with your boys here. I think we did well today. It's been, let's talk about it, 30 days without an accident of Mike Hughes saying the F-bomb on a show. So I'm very proud of it. Don't quote me on that. It's probably like one day. But until then, man, we appreciate you guys. Welcome to season 4 of Pros and Joes. Until next time, peace.